Welcome to the top 6 Pokemon regions. Today we'll be ranking all the different regions in the Pokemon world to find out which one is the best. Of course, this is my personal opinion, so there's a very good chance that you will not agree with me, but that's perfectly okay. I invite all of you to leave your rankings down in the comments below and we can compare. Of course, you should explain why each region is in its position, but that's your choice. Now I should point out this will only include the 6 main regions. Sorry, Or, and whatever those Pokemon Ranger ones were called. Did anybody actually play those? Anyways, I will be choosing my order on a number of factors including region design, replayability, storyline, gym leaders, impact on the series, and just the overall feel of the game, as well as things I probably don't know how to explain. So without any further delay, let's begin with number 6. Hoenn! Now this one confuses me a little bit because Ruby was actually my very first game, so you would think basing it off nostalgia, Hoenn would win, and if this list was based off music alone, it probably would. There's just something about those trumpets that affect me in a way no other music has in the Pokemon world. Now being at number 6 doesn't mean I dislike Hoenn at all. I actually believe I may just be making this list at a bad time and I'm actually just really burnt out on Hoenn. I played Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald more than any other game in the entire series, so I've explored Hoenn the most. I think I'm just quite tired of it. Who knows, after a long break, Hoenn may actually be at number 1 on here. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have its weaknesses. I personally extremely dislike the large amount of water in this game, as well as the rather lackluster gym leaders in my opinion, with the exception to Tate and Lisa, who always seem to give me at least a small amount of trouble. Although I feel Emerald is the far better adaptation of Hoenn as opposed to Ruby and Sapphire with the upgraded Battle Frontier as well as the improved storyline with Team Magma and Aqua. Overall I believe Hoenn is a fantastic region, but unfortunately it lands itself in the lowest spot of this list. Number 5. Kanto. Now, before all you first geners start smashing your face into your computers so you can dislike with attitude, let me remind you that this is my opinion. Now I honestly can't explain why I feel this way, but I just find Kanto to be very boring. I know this is a bad complaint, but it feels very linear and there really isn't a lot to do. You just go from town to town to become champ. Now while this is the basic formula that made Pokemon so amazing, I just find there are better examples of this than Kanto. But I'm not going to talk badly about it this entire time. Kanto has some amazing qualities. The lovingly pathetic and derpy Team Rocket tries to take over, the always creepy Lavender Town and the amazing fan-made wars that have come along with it, and the fact that it's Caterpie's hometown does make it a little more awesome. Number 4. Kalos. Now Kalos is still new, and that's most likely affecting its placement. I've heard a lot of people boasting that X and Y are the best Pokemon games ever released, and that may be true. The games did take one of the biggest steps forward in innovating the entire series. But this is about Kalos itself, which is quite an amazing region. Kalos brings some of the most unique and prettiest scenery we've ever seen, including the amazing Lumio City as well as my personal favorite, Koraway Town. From the roller skating to riding Pokemon to the innovative gym designs, Kalos did a lot of things right. The only really downside I can think of is the lack of post-game content. Once you beat the Elite Four, you're rather limited in what you can do unless you're interested in competitive battling. Also, the fact that the game feels very rushed between the 3rd and 6th gyms is a negative as well. Overall, Kalos is definitely one of Game Freak's better outings with very little downsides, but the fact that it's only been around for 3 months makes me feel like it isn't deserving of a top spot. Maybe if we revisit this in a year or two, it'll be doing much better. Number 3. Unova. Now the main reason I hold Unova so highly is probably because after you beat the Elite Four, you still have almost half a region to explore, or at least it feels like that to me. One of my biggest complaints of other regions is that once you become champion, there's not a lot to do. Also, it just felt very fresh to play for the first times. Gyms had a unique appearance, a whole new roster of Pokemon to capture, 2 of the most lame and annoying rivals of all time, wait, that's not a good thing, and a surprisingly deep story surrounding this region made me love Unova. Black 2 and White 2 took Unova to an even cooler level, allowing you to explore new parts of the region that you didn't even know existed before. I'm honestly having trouble coming up with bad things to say about Unova. The extremely slow starts to the region is one thing, but I can't really judge an entire region based off that. I guess we'll just end this one here. Number 2. Sinnoh. Oh Sinnoh, what can I say about you that'll actually do this wonderful land justice? From the peaks of Mount Coronet to the icy town of Snowy Point City to the sandy beaches of Sunny Shore City, Sinnoh is something that interests every Pokemon player. But that's just the icing on the cake. Sinnoh is probably one of my favorite stories of all time. I mean, Team Galactic actually captured legendary Pokemon and came very close to completing their goals. Although I just noticed a resemblance between the Sinnoh and the Kalos regions, both evil teams came very close to their goals, and when they failed, the leader presumably committed suicide and was never heard from again. Is Kalos secretly a remake of Sinnoh? Because that would explain the Jubilife City music in the game. Oh boy, I think I may have just uncovered Pokemon's biggest secret yet. Oh wait, this is supposed to be about why I like Sinnoh, huh? Well, it gave us Porygon Z. That's a good enough reason for me. And finally, number 1. Johto. I really can't explain why Johto is my favorite region. It's not that complex, it's relatively short and very fast paced, it doesn't have the most threatening gym leaders, and to this day I still don't fully understand why we had to beat up Lugia and Ho-Oh for no reason. And I realize this is a major contradiction to what I said about Kanto, but this is my list and I can do whatever I want. But there's just something about this little piece of land just west of Kanto that I fell in love with. Whenever I find myself wanting to play Pokemon, Johto's always been my top choice. Maybe it's because of the fact that it's so simple. You just get your starter and kick ass. Maybe it's because I have fond memories of watching the Johto anime as a little Caterpie. There's a lot of different factors that could explain why Johto's at the top of this list, but all that matters is that it is. This is my list, and I can say whatever I want. If you don't like it, go make your own list. But you can't put Johto at number 1, because it's mine. I now own Johto. You heard me. It's mine. Forever. Cyanwood City is now Caterwood City. Professor Elm is now Professor Caterpoop. Don't worry, he's still a complete dumbass. Anyways, that's my ranking of the Pokemon World regions. Make sure to share your guys' list down below and compare yours to mine. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button to show your support. Until next time, I'm Hardy Tech Yo-Yo.